How appropriate. How absolutely appropriate. After mocking Joe Biden for 4 or 5 months. Oh, Joe's hiding in the basement and he wears a mask, the biggest mask I've ever seen. Screw these people. I mean, for real. Man, like I give a shit. King Rat has been walking around. That's my new name for him. King Rat has been prancing and strutting around like he owned the world. His followers have been bolstering that idea, feeding right into it as they fillet him in these great big indoor Nuremberg-style rallies. It was only a matter of time before this arrogant jackass developed COVID-19. We knew this. Come on, we knew this. And as far as, I don't know about, I realize it is standard procedure for Biden and Mrs. Biden to send a text or a tweet or whatever the hell they sent. Oh, we wish you a speedy recovery. We're thinking of you and praying for you. And Nancy Pelosi to do the same thing. These are all devout Catholics, you see. So, of course, they're going to say that. I would no more send a text or a tweet or an email that says, we're praying for you, Mr. President. We wish you well. Screw you, King Rat. And people acting as though it's a surprise. Oh, and then his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, that little twit, going out this morning, and there he is again. No mask, no anything. Blowing smoke up the asses of all the reporters who are standing there wanting to know about the condition of dear leader. Is King Rat okay? And what do we get from Mark Meadows? The usual bullshit. Oh, and the woman who's the head of the Republican National Committee, she's home in Michigan, I guess. She's got the same thing. Oh, my goodness, really? And who is it? Somebody at Common Dreams wrote a piece today. Damn it, I don't have the writer's name. But they're calling it not a tragic accident, what happened to Trump, but a crime scene. It's a culmination of his deadly, filthy pandemic response, such as it's been. Here's a quote. Quote, now is not the time to be euphemistic about Trump's recklessness. His disregard for basic health protocols has been bad not just for himself and his staff, but also for countless Americans, end quote. Yeah, no shit. And I understand that the QAnon vermin are already saying, well, the Democrats did this to him. The conspiracy theories are already popping up all over the place, right? Yeah, Democrats did it to him. They snuck into his bedroom and they pumped virus into his ears. Yes, indeed. I'm sounding a little hysterical, aren't I? Well, I really don't give a damn. I really don't. I can't think of anybody who's ever gotten sick who deserved it more. Not because he's a prick, not because he's a rotten leader, but because the way he has treated this virus with utter contempt, like, oh, it's not good. It doesn't affect people. It's not serious. Oh, we turned the corner. Oh, we've got it under control. Oh, we're going to have a vaccine. Oh, this is ridiculous. Where's Joe Biden hiding in the basement? He's afraid to come out. All of that garbage. 200,000 plus Americans are dead because of this virus. And how many tens of thousands more are going to die? And all this rancid King Rat bastard had to do was assume a position of leadership and listen to the medical experts and tell his staff to shut up and follow the advice of people like Dr. Fauci. But no, not King Rat. Oh, no, 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 no. He lives by a whole different set of rules. He's immune to everything. He's King Rat. Yeah. Well, he really is, isn't he? I can only imagine how that sounds coming from your humble and obedient servant here. But you know what? Everything I just said, I just absolutely, totally, 100%. I sound like Lindsey Graham now. I mean it. I believe it. Save the tape. You can play it later. It's absolutely true. I'm not going to back down. Yeah, okay. Lard-ass, cheeseburger-eating freak. One critical question is what happens next, because the election now is only a month away. And King Rat will have no choice now but to get off the campaign trail for a prolonged period. Except I just wonder if he's going to do that. You know, this toxically narcissistic bastard could be leaking viruses all over the place and still go out to meet the people who want to fillet him. That's just Trump. He doesn't care. I think Trump actually believes that he's immune to everything. Oh, I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to be like Joe Biden and hide behind a mask. Oh, not me. Good. CNN reports that according to people who interacted with King Rat yesterday, he appeared tired. Oh, really? But he wasn't displaying major symptoms. And even if he had, or even if he and the First Lady are not seriously affected, medical advice suggests that they should isolate themselves for at least 10 days, which is about half the length of the time remaining in this hideous presidential race. Anyway, this coronavirus thing now is a political disaster for King Rat's campaign. Given the fact that he's lagging behind Biden in the so-called swing states and already seemed to need a game-changer event in his favor to come from behind in the limited time remaining. That's why, I mean, the timing of this is just so suspect. Malloy, you're starting to sound like Alex Jones or QAnon with what is this, a conspiracy theory? I guess it could be seen that way. It's just that I don't believe anything the son of a bitch says. Nothing. Or his rotten sons and daughters, or his rotten extended family. Well, I guess he doesn't have one, does he? The ones he does have, they all understand what an asshole he is. Or his great Christian enablers, or anybody associated with him in the Republican Party. Do you believe anything they say? Of course you don't. The next presidential debate, CNN reports, following King Rat's tantrum-filled performance last week, but the next presidential debate is in particular doubt. That event is scheduled for October 15th in Miami. And even though the uber-Christian Mike Pence tested negative for the virus this morning, Pence has been around top aides and the King Rat in a White House that is now a virus hotspot. So, there must be doubts that his showdown with the Democratic vice presidential nominee, Senator Kamala Harris, can go ahead as planned on Wednesday night. So anyway, CNN goes on, the staggering news of Trump's plight. That's not staggering news. It's expected. Anyway, it means that Biden, who is another old man vulnerable to COVID-19 complications, who was right across an indoor stage from a shouting and puking and farting and wheezing Donald Trump for 90 minutes at their debate last Tuesday, that Biden will probably also have to be tested. I'm sure he has been. It was announced today that he and his wife, Jill, have tested negative, which doesn't particularly mean he's out of the woods from standing that close to King Rat. Because the way King Rat was frothing and fuming and farting and wheezing, God only knows how far the spittle from that filthy man's mouth traveled. Oh, and the moderator better be checked too, don't you think? Chris Wallace? Huh? And that image of Trump smiling while his entourage ostentatiously, that's the way CNN puts it, removing their masks in the audience before the debate is now especially resonant. Yeah, you saw that, right? Especially that little prick Donald Trump Jr. and that brain dead Eric, and they walk in and just take off their mask. Not us. We don't have to wear masks. And then, of course, there's Ronna McDonald. No, not Ronald McDonald. Ronna McDaniel, the chairwoman of the Republican National Committee, who also is positive for the coronavirus. Oh, poor baby. Really? Well, so this diagnosis for King Rat obviously creates a sensitive moment for Joe Biden, who's got to find the right tone in the days ahead. And Biden's got to decide whether to reduce his own campaign commitment in deference to King Rat's condition. I hope he doesn't. I hope Biden just pours it on. I mean, just let it rip, Joe. And of course, Biden, being Biden, tweeted this morning, wishing King Rat and the First Lady, quote, a swift recovery. Yeah, well. So anyway, unless he's totally incapacitated, King Rat will still be able to use his Twitter machine to keep his increasingly desperate antics in front of Americans. And he'll likely have an open line to the Fox sewer during his confinement. What a day. What a week. What a month. What a year. What a presidency. What a mess. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.